name is Everett Kelly. I am the proud president of the American Federation of Government Employees, representing over 700,000 federal and DC workers. I want to thank everyone for joining us for our first AFGE Power Hour of 2023. I want to thank our organizing director, Dave Can, and our leaders for joining us here tonight for this Power Hour. We're going to talk and have conversation about organizing to win with AFGE. I would like to thank Daphne Jackson and Jocelyn Westbrook of Local 1633, Hydrick Thomas of Local 2222, and Perry Keller and Terry Peeler of Local 1738. Thank you all for joining us. And I want to remind the viewers and the members and leaders that's interested in organizing, they can access our introductory video and resources at afge.org/NEO. Now, the first few days of an employee's career are crucial to introducing them to our union and an opportunity to share about how union membership benefits workers. When AFG members make the first impression and introduce themselves, it allows us to share what our union is really all about, as opposed to letting management set the narrative for us. Depending on your contract, relationship with your agency, you can meet one-on-one with new hires or be a part of a quarterly orientation held by the agency. Lunch and learns are a great chance to take the time to discuss the union and its benefits with new hires, new workers. Be a resource. Talk to new hires about some of the issues facing workers at your agency. Issues with management, dress code, utilizing leave time, making it through probationary periods, and any other day-to-day question that they might have. Discuss the benefit that membership has, especially if they're concerned about dues or try to argue that AFGE will represent them regardless. Focus on wins for workers that AFGE has achieved. Go through the contract and application. Be sure to use the tools that AFGE can provide. Put together a union contract list and bring in members to address new hires that are passionate about their union involvement. Follow up with potential members. After you have met with them, make sure you follow up, and don't forget the crucial work we do for American federal workers, and share your passion for working together in solidarity.
Hi, my name is Dave Can. I'm the director of the organizing department at AFGE. I wanted to take a moment to talk a little bit about new employee orientations, or NEOs. We have a lot of opportunities to do recruiting and organizing in all of our locals, all of our councils, all of our districts. But ultimately, new employee orientations are our best opportunity to introduce what it means to be in a union and what it means to be a union member to our bargaining unit employees. They're coming in fresh to the federal government or coming into a new position from another agency or place, and they're learning the lay of the land. A lot of times folks will tell us, and I'm sure if you've done new employee orientations, you've experienced this in the past, they don't know anything about labor unions. It's been decades since we've taught anything about labor unions in school, and as our density has dropped over decades, younger folks may not have grown up in union households. So we're talking to people fresh, giving them an opportunity to learn about what unions are all about. It's also a really exceptional opportunity to have a captive audience. Everybody that's coming through the door into the agency going to be joining as a bargaining unit employee, we have a chance to get in front of them and talk to them about how they can have a voice on the job. So it's an excellent opportunity. Also, this is incredibly important. You're probably going to hear this other times during this power hour. From the back of the envelope math, it looks like about 80% of our new recruits, new members, come from new employee orientations, or NEOs. So this is, in a lot of ways, the heart of our growth. So we want to take this opportunity to get in front of everyone we can. And to that reason, I would say, for all of your locals, you should be in touch with your agency, getting a schedule of when every new employee orientation is. You want to get that schedule as early out as you can. Try to get it at the beginning of the year. If you can't, I'd say be in touch on it at least monthly basis to make sure that you're aware of when the new employee orientations are going to be. You want to make sure that you have somebody in person at every new employee orientation, whether it's someone from your local Whether it's an organizer from the organizing department, we'd love to help. Whether it's somebody from the district, somebody from the council, it is not entirely uncommon for us to have benefit partners assist, but we want to have somebody in person at every single new employee orientation, giving everybody a chance to hear about what it means to be in a union. I mentioned in person repeatedly, and I want to stress that. A lot of agencies during the pandemic took that as an opportunity to have people come in person to get their badges, do their paperwork, but then do the new employee orientations virtually. This was a real shot across the bow for us because it makes it really difficult for us to sign people up. And in fact, a lot of agencies use this as an opportunity to carve us out completely. We're at a point now where a lot of the work that we're doing is in person. And as I mentioned before, for nearly every other onboarding aspect that goes on to, that layers on top of the orientation itself, agencies are having people come in person at least at some point. And so we should be leveraging that to make sure that we have an opportunity to talk to folks face to face. If you need assistance in engaging your agency, if they give you pushback, feel free to reach out to your council, your district, our department. We'd all be happy to help make sure that we're pushing for that. Another thing that's critical is we can talk about the benefits of having a voice on the job, how important it is to mobilize, how important it is to have a seat at the table. But when it comes down to signing people up on 1158s or 1187s, we need to be doing that during a lunch break. So we want to work with the agency or the department to make sure that we are scheduling our portion to either be at the end of the day or during a lunch break. Lunch breaks are ideal because we can break, give people a little bit of food, and have a chance to sign everybody up. It's critical. Again, if you wind up reaching a point where you're in discussions with the agency and you get pushback on that, feel free to reach out to national, the district, the council. We want to help you. Make sure that we're scheduling these discussions in a way that's most helpful. A couple basic pointers. And I have the humility to know that I'm talking to 931 locals and been doing this for decades. So these are things that I've found to be helpful. Your mileage may vary, and my guess is you have more pointers to share. One thing I want to add is that we have resources to use in employee orientations, but we're developing more. And so if you're a local or bargaining council would like to be a part of the process of development, feel free to reach out. We're going to have our contact information available. We are eager to have as many partners in developing useful materials as we can. There's no limit on people that have good ideas, and I know that I'm just a small part of the brain trust that is the Federation. Some pointers, though, that I think are really helpful. One is, I have often heard our new employee orientations talk about why people want to join in order to get services and benefits. That's critical, and that's one of the main reasons people join a union. But I think it's really important to let people know that one of the main reasons they should join a union is to have a voice on the job. There's a lot of empowerment that comes from a labor union. There's a lot of opportunities to get involved. It's something that there's no other way to have as much of a voice and take up as much space on the job as you can as a union activist. If you think about it as a union leader, the power and the fearlessness and the wherewithal you have, and think about some of the bargaining unit employees you have that may not even know that they have a union or aren't involved. They're missing out on that. So we want to give them the gift of feeling themselves and feeling their power and not deprive them of it. We also want to make sure that we have help doing the work we do. I know a lot of times when I talk to local leaders, they say, I do all the negotiations. I do all the organizing. I do all the communications. I do all the representation. I do all the legislative outreach. We take too much on our own shoulders, and it's unfair to our leaders, but it's also unfair to the members that could have a piece of this union and be pulling alongside us. So when we introduce what the union is, it is good to talk about how everybody could use representation. And it's good to talk about the benefits, and I'm not telling you not to. We have to. But I think the main pitch we want to be making is that being a member of a union is an opportunity to have more power on the job. That without it, the boss makes all of the decisions. With it, the boss and the union make all the decisions. But if you're not involved, you still have other people who are deciding what happens. You're choosing to sit it out. You want to have a voice. You want to be the union. And you are, ultimately. That's who the union is. We don't want to, there's something called third partying, where we talk about how the union is a third party that represents people. And it's a phrasing thing we fall into a lot. New employee orientations are a good place to make sure that when we talk about what the union is, we're explaining that the union is the people that work at the agency, the people that are sitting around you in that room. That's who the union is. And so you want to stand up and make sure that your voice counts. And that's the main thing that people should join for. We also want to make sure that we stay positive. I've heard on occasion, this is a relatively rare one, during a new employee orientation, one of the local officers or stewards will say, I know that when it was time for the agency to try to fire me, the agency saved my job. And when the time comes that you start getting written up, you're going to want the union. Folks are just starting. It's their first day on the job. It may be their first day at a job. We want to try to keep things as positive as possible. If we make an association between the union and people getting in trouble, it'll turn them off. So I think we want to try to pump the brakes and talk about how there is a lot of things that are offered as being a member of the union that are positive, including representation. But I think we want to make sure that we keep the tenor as positive as possible. Again, we've got a lot of really great benefits. Sometimes we have rebates and things like that. I would keep those as things that we have on the tail end, because if we front load those, what winds up happening is people understand that they're joining the union, they're paying a fee in return for service, and will always understand their role as being passive. But if we start and we focus on the fact that people are going to have a chance to negotiate over every topic in the workplace, things even as small as changing the price in vending machines, which we have a right to bargain over, that's critical. And when it comes down to deciding the things that they want to see change and improve, that's important. Also try to highlight some of the things that have been that we've gained by working together in the past. Extraordinary wage increases that we've gotten by lobbying on the Hill as a group of 700,000 federal employees. Think about your agency's recent contract wins we've had, or big contractual grievances. If you're with TSA, you can talk about how the fact that it's from working together that we've gotten the biggest pay raise in the history of the federal government and been able to secure extraordinary contractual rights on the job. I think that if you focus on the positives and the things that come from being involved and having a voice, you're going to find folks can't wait to sign up. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see my email. Feel free to reach out. We would love to have an organizer work with your local and be present at any new employee orientations you have. I want to thank you again, and thank you for joining us on the Power Hour. Okay, great, thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Dave Gann. I'm the Director of Organizing with AFGE. We're joined by an illustrious panel of locals that have had extraordinary success with their recruitment through new employee orientations. As folks know, new employee orientations are critical because they give us a chance to get in front of every single new hire. We found that back of the envelope math looks like about 80% of the new members that come into AFGE come through new employee orientations. And so it's critical for us to be at every single new employee orientation, to be there in person, and to make sure that we have a chance to talk to folks in a period that falls during the lunch hour so we can get everyone to sign up. We are joined by Local 1633 with Daphne Jackson and Jocelyn Westbrooks. We're joined by Local 1738 with Perry Keller and Terry Peeler, and Local 2222 with Hydrick Thomas. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome. Good morning.
Welcome. So the first question I'd like to ask, I'll start with our brothers and sisters from Local 1738. We're focusing on building a union where every employee has a voice. How do you let new hires know that they have a voice on the job joining with AFGE?
Yeah. Well, first we start off with introducing them to our contract. That's their voice, the voice that has the power behind the contract. So we give each individual a copy of the contract as part of their package. And we actually go through some of the things in the contract with them. We actually do a little skit, like on leave, sick leave, and that kind of thing, and they participate in that. So we let them know that they have a strong voice through us and through the contract.
Wonderful. To our sisters at Local 1633. I'm sorry, go ahead, please.
Oh, excuse me. Well, what we do to ensure that our new staff know that they will have a voice, especially joining with the union, is that we go over some of the things that we provide specifically as a union. We talk about their status as probationary employees. A lot of them are. Some transfer in, but a lot of probationary, and what those terms and things mean to them. We talk about what a union is and why you want to be a part of the union and what a union provides for you, because we find a lot of them really don't know. And we give them packets that have lots of information in them. They have our information that they can contact us. And we just provide a lot of question and answering for the group. We try to give heartfelt answers and real answers. And so we usually get pretty good dialogue in our new employee orientation groups.
Right. And I just want to piggyback on Ms. Westbrook's sentiments as well. We are transparent. We also make ourselves available for our union members through difficult times, whether it be personal issues that they are experiencing and also natural disasters. For example, we live here in the South. We have a lot of natural disasters during hurricane season. As union representatives, we come out on site, we're in person, we're communicating with our membership to let them know that we're available. We provide resources that could be beneficial to them as they, deal with different, areas of issues or concerns they may be having.
Wonderful. Thank you. Brother Hydrick, what do the folks at Local 2222 do when they want to let folks know they're going to have a voice on the job through new employee orientations?
First thing, I try to make myself available to go to all the union orientations because I came out of the union for 20 years and it was a private union. It wasn't a federal union. It was very hard for me to adjust to this federal union here, not the union itself, but the agency TSA. See, TSA, I told them, TSA, we have no rights. And our first contract was limited. We had 11 articles, which gave us no power other than our voice. I make sure every representative go into orientation give out their business card. We put the flyers in our own. We bought our own lock boards, glass board with a lock on it, so TSA can't remove anything we put in there. All the contact information for the executive board and all the local representatives, which is in your airport, is on that document that's locked in the board.
I think we're hearing, whether it's TSA or the VA,
Yes.
that one of the main messages that we want folks to take away from the new employee orientation is they have an opportunity to have a voice on the job.
Yes, definitely.
Daphne, Jocelyn, what would you say is the one key to success that you've had in new employee orientations and being able to bring so many new folks into their union?
I think one of the successes is effective communication on a consistent basis. We offer a variety of services. We let the membership know that we are available. We ask what issues, concern them the most within their work area or, within the department coming in, and we address those concerns. We have effective communication through our newsletter that we send out monthly, sometimes twice a month, also through text message we send out to our membership to inform members of upcoming events or just news that they should be made aware of that may impact them. I think effectiveness starts, with us. And effective communication is the key to success that I think, in constant communication about issues that impact the bargaining unit. Julie.
And to piggyback on what President Jackson said, we also make sure we're at every orientation. We have situated our orientation so that it is coinciding with their lunch breaks. We also ensure that that we reach out to the employees with heartfelt messages. We give them specific examples of how the union affects their life. Because a lot of them will be going to telework jobs, they will be going to C boxes, and we may not get another chance. So we make sure that we utilize the time that we're given as well as we possibly can. we do get transfers, and sometimes they have questions because maybe where they came from, they don't feel like they were represented well, or they had an issue. And so we do give them the ability to ask us questions. We give them scenarios where the union has stepped in. We talk about some of the benefits that the union has been able to get our staff, and we make sure we do things in person. During the pandemic, the agency went to virtual orientations, but we never went to virtual orientation. We found out that it was going to be less effective. And so, yes, we had to space out. We all wore masks. We had to split classes in two to ensure we only had a certain amount of people at one time. We sometimes had 3 and 4 rooms going, and we would have groups going from one room to the other, addressing different things. And so, because we only had a certain amount of time. And so we had to get very creative, but we always kept it in person. And so that's why our numbers never dropped, and we actually grew in the pandemic.
That's remarkable. Perry, Tony, what would you say the one key to success has been for your extraordinarily effective new employee orientations?
I would say a key to our success is that each new employee orientation, we go the day before that we actually present. We actually go the day before, and we're inviting them to be a part of our presentation. We offer that we're going to have lunch that day, and we just let them know that we care about them. We want them to be there. As we return back on that next day when we are actually presenting, everybody is there as a team. And it's like, okay, hey, we saw you yesterday. We're back. And we go into our presentation. We present them a video, kind of like gives history of labor and AFGE itself. And then each person on the team that is present that day has a presentation that they give them. And in doing so, we do notice that people are listening, and they're engaged. But we also have to keep reminding them, now you're hearing a lot of stuff today. Ask questions. We're here. And we also make sure that when we leave, we're encouraging them to give us a call. We know contract. We can help you.
I'd like to add to that too. I think one of the things that we're continually successful, and the reason for that, and I think one of the most important things, is your reputation. We have a reputation of taking care of our bargaining unit employees. We represent them. We make ourselves available. So when the new employees walk in, they've talked to their peers and other people. They know about us. Our reputation precedes us. And so we're going to gain a lot, even if we didn't show up, just off our reputation. So I think that's one of the most important things is that your bargaining unit employees that you've got, your current employees, if they think good of you and your reputation is good, they're going to pass that forward to the new employees. So I think that's one of the most important things.
Hardwick, what would you say the key to success has been for Local 2222 in recruiting in its new employee orientations?
Let them know that you're going to be there for them when they really need you. The communication, making sure you tell them that we have different websites. We have a local website. We have a council website. We have other employees. We have a site that only members of the union can actually join that site. But they're still available to call any one of us at any time from other states. So we make ourselves available for any time, any hour that you can reach out to. We have a communication department that makes sure that we have a news. We have one person who writes the newsletters that we send to every last bargaining unit employee. So the communication, like Ms. Jackson and Ms. Jocelyn said, the communication is the most important thing, and let them know that you're going to be there for them 24 hours a day when they need you. So that's a key to success about building your membership.
Another question for you, Hydrick. We've learned how important it is to make sure that we're having our new employee orientations at a time when it overlaps with the lunch period, so everybody can have a chance to sign up on their own time. Some locals struggle with that and find that the agency gives them pushback in trying to schedule their new employee orientations where it will overlap with the lunch period. What advice would you give locals that are struggling with that?
Stop right.
Try to reach out to your FSD. Like me, I have a local in New Jersey. But normally we got TSA supposed to be given the option to speak to the new employees right after the federal safety director swear them in. No other department is supposed to speak to them before us. But I have a good relationship with the one in New Jersey. He asked me if it was okay, instead of doing it on Monday, can we do it on a Thursday? Instead of giving us a half an hour, he let us take as long as we want. So that's what we'll say. So we just make sure we stay connected with the new employees that's coming in and make sure we can protect them 24 hours a day and anything they need. Like I said, sometimes the financial thing where they don't have coffee to get to work. They don't get paid for that first pay period. So we try to provide them with transportation. TSA gives them a Metro card, but they don't give it to them the first day neither. So like when we lunch, like most time we have restaurants in some of the airports where we do an orientation. So I tell them, each employee can go downstairs. You can spend up to $20 on lunch. I said, if your food go over $20, leave it on the plate. I'm a Southerner, so when it's time to eat, don't take none of the food off my plate. So I tell them
it's got to be. Yeah, right. It's got to be lunchtime. Wonderful. Daphne, Joy, what advice would you give to a local that is struggling with the agency trying to make sure that they're allowed to sign folks up during lunchtime for the new employee orientations?
I would advise the local to try to bargain and negotiate the issue with management, HR chief, whoever's in charge of the NEO process. Also, I would also remind those locals to have the agency to review, employee rights in the master agreement, I think, which is Article 17. And it talks about the employee rights and their right to join and form a union. But most of all, I would try to negotiate it first and bargain with the agency on a time frame near their employees' lunch.
And the only thing I would add is, as President Jackson said, you definitely want to bargain, but you also want to have that regular time frame set so that every week or every other week or however often you attend your orientations, you're at the same time and you don't have to continue to struggle with that. So in your bargaining, make sure you set it up and then have that strategic time set up so that that's the same time you meet every 2 weeks, so that you don't have to revisit that, and keep notes on that so that if as administration changes and different heads of departments change and you're challenged on that time frame, you have that MOU or the SOP that says this is when the union bargained this and this is what the outcome was.
I think that's excellent advice. Tony, what are some of the things that Local 1738 does to welcome new members that we sign up at our new employee orientations?
We do. We have a very good welcome packet that has everything we do, all the any organizational things that we have that they're welcome to. Sometimes we have little goodies for them to welcome them in, and we reiterate in the packet to welcome them some of the things that will benefit them as new employees, like the thrift savings plan, what kind of benefits we offer so far as the we review those different to welcome them in and say that we have a lot of other stuff just because represent them. There's a lot of other benefits that they can gain, and we encourage them to go over the packet and look at everything that's in it and see what all we have to offer. It would take us an hour by itself to tell them everything we have to offer. So we encourage them to look through the welcome packet, and we be sure that they've got our telephone number, where our office is, that they can come by at any time to see us.
Wonderful. Daphne, Joy, what does 1633 do to welcome new members that sign up at new employee orientations?
Well, first of all, what we do, we offer them lunch. We provide lunch for them. We also give them an NEO rebate. And we also give them a gift to show a token of our appreciation for them joining. We explain the different benefits from the union and the perks of being a union member. And we also ask them to become engaged and involved with our union to show them that, they are valuable to us and that, strength grows in numbers. And we're trying to increase our negotiation and bargaining power through the growth of our membership. So we give money and rebate, and also a token to show our appreciation as well as a meal.
To add to that, we also let them know that we have different events throughout the year. So even if they don't have an issue per se, we do honor them. We honor them in May and National Healthcare Week, where we have breakfast for our night shift and day, and then we have evening meal for our staff that come in during the evening time and as well as day shift. And then we go out to the C boxes as well, and we take a meal as well. And we usually give them a small token at National Healthcare Week. We also have a family picnic in October that they can come and bring their family. And we have an event in December, a gala where they can come and bring one other guest. So these are things that we give that they can participate in, whether they have an issue or not, but they feel like they are getting some benefit from us.
Wonderful. Thank you. Heidrich, what does Local 2222 do to welcome new members that sign up during the new employee orientation?
We give them the benefit package from a lot of things that we download from AFGE itself, about the Union Plus, the education, the parental thing, TSA 1 to be able to get them time off when the young ladies having babies. We have employees like myself. I donate all my hours to young ladies that's going to bring a child to this thing. I tell them right in the class. One young lady was in the class, going to have that baby the next month. I gave her 160 hours. And people are exactly, I said, that's part of what I do. And I encourage other people on my board. If you have a lot of time and you see these young ladies or people that's having some form of surgery or something like that, and you could donate time. That's what this local do. We donate a lot of time to our members. And we just encourage them to make sure they reach out to us.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to take a moment to thank everybody for participating in this panel. I think we got a lot of really wonderful information and guidance about how to have effective new employee orientations, how to make people feel heard and have join so that they can have a voice on the job and be active with their union, and how to appreciate all of the benefits and representation and wonderful aspects of being a member of a strong and effective local in AFGE. So thank you again, everybody, for participating. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone, have a nice day. Be safe.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
So thank you once again for being with us tonight. I've enjoyed being with you. I've enjoyed these leaders as they have shared their insight with all of us. We had a year in 22 that we were booming going out. We want to boom even more coming into 23. We have so much work to do. We have so many opportunities to organize, and I'm depending on you. You the one brought us through in 2022. I know you'll get us over the hump in 2023. Thank you once again. Many blessings to you, and may your organizing effort be the best it can be. Thank you, and many blessings.